What if the problem isn't your pricing, or your product, or your pitch deck? What if your business is bleeding trust, because it's still taking more than it gives? Let's be clear. In 2025, entrepreneurship is no longer just about how fast you scale. It's about what you're building on, and what you're building towards. Because in this new era, the smartest entrepreneurs aren't just chasing profits. They're engineering permanence. And permanence demands sustainability. Here's the hard truth. The world is no longer rewarding short-term thinkers. According to the World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Business report, over 67% of investors now prioritize ESG criteria, environmental, social, and governance, before releasing capital. In consumer markets, a 2025 Nielsen Global Consumer Trends study found that 81% of millennials and Gen Z are more likely to support brands aligned with climate-conscious, human-centric operations. In short, values are no longer a niche. They're currency. Sustainability is no longer nice to have. It's your market entry ticket. Gen Z isn't loyal to your logo. Millennials don't care about your jingle. They care about your business model, your sourcing, your hiring practices, your transparency. They want to know, are you part of the problem or part of the plan? This is why brands like Apple are now carbon neutral across all global corporate operations and aiming for every product to follow suit by 2030. Patagonia went so far as to transfer ownership of the company to a nonprofit dedicated to protecting nature. Tesla's market advantage? Not just tech, but narrative. It sells mission. These aren't greenwashing tactics. These are strategic identity plays. And your business needs one. Let's talk about what's actually costing you money. Wasteful packaging, energy inefficiencies, ineffective logistics, outdated digital infrastructure, unmeasured carbon footprints, employees disconnected from purpose. A 2024 McKinsey report found that companies implementing sustainable operations reduce costs by up to 25% within 2 years. Meanwhile, Harvard Business Review reports that purpose-driven companies see 40% higher workforce retention, saving hundreds of thousands annually in rehiring and training. Still think sustainability is expensive? Not transforming is what's expensive. Here's where the smart founders win. Sustainability isn't about being cute with compost bins. It's about being brutally efficient, reducing excess, maximizing value, streamlining energy, materials, and messaging. Lean businesses scale faster, and sustainable ones win trust quicker. EcoCart, a startup that allows e-commerce brands to offer carbon-neutral checkouts, saw a 38% increase in customer loyalty after implementing climate-positive shipping. Oatly, the sustainable oat milk brand, took a non-dairy trend and turned it into a $10 billion valuation by telling a clear, values-based story. Efficiency fuels profits. Purpose cements reputation. The two aren't separate. They're sequential. If you're serious about building a future-proof business, start here. 1. Audit your waste. Track where time, energy, materials, and human capital are leaking. 2. Evaluate your messaging. Are you communicating clarity or just content? 3. Source smarter. Partner with vendors who reflect your values and reduce your exposure. 4. Educate your community. Show, not tell, how your brand stands for more than margin. 5. Measure what matters. Use tools like Sustain Life, Normative.io, or ESG ratings to benchmark real impact. Start small. Track everything. Evolve publicly. Your audience doesn't need perfection. They need honesty, proof, and progress. You say you want to build an empire. But the real question is, will your empire outlive your ego? You can chase short-term wins, stack revenue, flip exits. But legacy? that comes from building systems of value, not just sources of income. The next 10 years will define the next 100. And only the entrepreneurs who dare to think sustainably, financially, socially, ethically will still be here. Don't just leave footprints. Leave blueprints. Let's talk deception. Unintentional or not. In 2025, 81% of consumers say they've abandoned a brand due to false sustainability claims. That's not a marketing problem. It's a trust crisis. Greenwashing isn't just unethical. It's expensive. Lawsuits, fines, consumer exits, and social media backlash now move faster than rebranding can catch up. This generation investigates. They screenshot your supply chain. They follow the threads. Your label better match your labor practices. And your storytelling better match your systems. Want to build long-term loyalty? Start with radical transparency, not perfect performance. Let's reframe sustainability from an expense to an edge. Companies that embed ethical sourcing and zero-waste operations report an average 26% higher employee retention and a 14% increase in customer lifetime value. Why? Because teams stay where vision aligns with values, and customers stick with brands that walk their talk. Apple is investing billions into carbon-neutral production not just for optics, but efficiency. Unilever reported over $1.2 billion in sales growth in its sustainable product lines last year alone. Sustainability isn't a slogan. It's your strongest profit partner. Look around. The game has changed, and the new MVPs are visible. Patagonia. 80% of profits reinvested in environmental restoration. IKEA. 50% of materials are now renewable or recycled, with a net zero. Look around. The game has changed, and the new MVPs are visible. Patagonia. 80% of profits reinvested in environmental restoration. IKEA. 50% of materials are now renewable or recycled, with a net zero pledge by 2030. Eremison Business Service, yes, right here at home, has scaled responsibly, prioritizing lean operations, mentorship, and real-time audits. These aren't PR moves. They're market strategies. They're not appealing to trends. They're building trust ecosystems. You're not too small to start. You're too smart not to.